The next day, at 8 a.m., the students were woken up by the sound of an alarm in the dorm rooms. It was the signal for everyone to get dressed and start the day. Once everyone was ready, they were to head down to the canteen for breakfast. When Quinn woke up, the system was the first thing that greeted him. Daily quest number 2 has been completed. 5 EXP received. 75 of 100 EXP. Quinn was thankful for this convenient way of gaining 5 EXP without actually having to do anything but sleep. Suddenly, a rumbling sound came from his belly. He felt hungrier than he usually was, as if something was biting through his stomach. Must still be from the fight yesterday. The canteen was a large hall that was quite plain. In fact, while walking around the school on his own, Quinn became aware of how plain most of the school looked. Single white walls, no picture frames, just windows every now and again. It was the sleek, modern, clean look that the world had taken. The canteen was filled with large tables that could seat 3 people on each side. There were no set seats in the canteen, meaning students were free to sit wherever they liked. Quinn noticed that low levels sat next to the other low levels, while the high levels sat with the high levels. His school life had just begun, and yet the social norm appeared to have already been established, just like it had been in his old school. While Quinn was waiting in line with Peter and Vorden, a student came late into the queue. He nonchalantly walked past his peers and eventually cut into the line ahead of the rest. Not a single person said a word in protest. The reason for this was simple. The offender had a higher power level than them. Quinn hated these types of actions, but right now there was nothing he could do. Once the 3 of them got their food, they started looking for a place to eat. "Why don't we go over there?" Vorden pointed at an empty spot. "Are you sure, Vorden?" Peter asked. "That's a level 1 area. You don't have to sit with us if you don't want to, right, Quinn?" "Yeah, don't force yourself," Quinn replied. "Quit talking nonsense, you two. We're friends. I don't care about this stupid power level hierarchy going on." The 3 of them then went to sit down with the other lower levels on a table. The area slowly started to fill up, but nobody else had decided to sit at their table. Everyone could see his high power level, so the other low levels wanted to stay away, fearing he would bully them. As soon as they sat down, Quinn started to dig in without any regard for table manners, eating everything that was given to him, even the bits he usually didn't like. "Hey, if you're not going to finish that, do you mind if I take it?" Quinn asked, his eyes on Peter's plate. "Sure, go ahead," Peter said, a bit surprised about Quinn's appetite. Quinn ended up not only eating all of his food, but also the leftovers from his 2 friends. On top of that, Quinn also had grabbed 8 bottles of water, as he wanted to finish his other daily quest as soon as possible. The last time when he had been in the sun, he had sweated far more than usual, but thanks to the water he drank beforehand, he hadn't felt too dehydrated. If they were to go outside again, then this would be a big help to Quinn. "For a skinny guy, you sure know how to gorge yourself," Vorden teased. Although Quinn had clearly eaten a lot, for some reason he still felt a little pang of hunger that wouldn't quite go away. Luckily it was bearable and didn't distract him too much. "Daily quest number 1 has been completed. Reward 5 EXP, 80 of 100 EXP. Now there were only 20 points separating him from his first level up. He could not wait to see what benefits it would bring him. As he thought about the system, he recalled that he had received the Inspect skill as an additional quest reward from his fight yesterday. He turned to Vorden and decided to use it on him. Name, Vorden Blade. Race, human. Ability, none. HP, 10 of 10. Blood type, O negative. Quinn paused for a second as he read over what he was seeing. For some reason, the system was stating that Vorden had no ability. "Hey, Vorden, can you still use Aaron's ice powers at the moment?" "Wow, I didn't know you were so interested in me," Vorden said as he rubbed the back of his head. "Actually, my ability resets every day, and I haven't touched anyone today. Besides you two, of course, but you two are duds for my ability." They continued to talk for a bit until another alarm notified them that breakfast was over and that class would start soon. On their way, Peter and Quinn spotted Kyle, who did not look at all as if he had been in a fight, much less lost it. "Do you think he'll tell the teacher what happened?" Peter whispered to Quinn. "I doubt it. It should be too embarrassing for him to admit he was defeated by someone weaker than him. Plus, it would only make him a target if people found out," Quinn whispered back. Their teacher for the day was Dell, the same person who had shown them around the school. The students took their seats, and just like in the canteen, they chose to sit close to those of the same power levels. All but Vorden, of course. Vorden decided to sit at the back of the class with the level 1s and 2s, between Peter and Quinn. The other students noticed this behavior and quickly started to talk amongst themselves. I saw him sit with them in the canteen as well. Won't this cause a problem for the hierarchy at school? Won't the second-year students start to do something? Yeah, if he keeps breaking the rules, then they will definitely step in. This focus on one's power level wasn't just a school thing. In fact, the school was the perfect example of how their society worked as a whole. With a higher power level, you would be guaranteed better jobs and better pay. The government would support you, while the rest would be forgotten. The ones at the top didn't really have a problem with this kind of system. The people with lower power levels would do anything they asked them to do just to curry favor with them, hoping that one day they could increase their power level. Anyone who tried to upset this power system was usually quickly silenced. It was the primary reason the group known as Pure existed in the first place. They wanted to fight against this system and re-establish dignity for all humans. Dell coughed loudly to silence the gossiping students so he could start his lecture. It was about the introduction of the school and the Great War. When we were about to lose the Great War against the Dalki, Dell began, his voice rising to capture the rapturous moment, his eyes blazing, that was when they came forward. The originals. These humans had kept their abilities hidden for hundreds of years, only passing them down to their family members. He paused and looked around the class to make sure every student was paying attention before he continued. Thanks to them sharing their abilities with the rest of humanity, we were able to reverse the tide of war and beat back the Dalki. When we talk about an original today, we're either referring to the founders of that ability or a member of one of the groups who have refused to share their abilities with the rest of the world. Dell then suddenly had a serious look on his face. We might live in a time of peace at the moment, but who knows when the war will start again. That is why you are here. Once the class had finished, it was time for the students to take a break. Vorden, Quinn, and Peter headed outside to grab a snack. As soon as Quinn stepped outside, the dreaded message appeared. All stats have been halved. The three of them sat by a nearby bench, and Quinn once again felt weak. Hey, are you all right? You look sick again, Vorden asked. Dude, you're sweating like crazy. Yeah, I just get hot easily, Quinn lied. The three of them continued to talk about random things and the experiences they had at their previous schools until a group of 6 male students approached them. Each of them was wearing a black arm badge, indicating that they were second-year students. Looks like the rumors were true, one of the second-year students said. We have some business to discuss with the three of you. Do you mind coming with us? Another added. His eyes dared the trio to refuse the invitation.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.